Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am at the start of my journey from the US to Indonesia. I want to take a trip by land from the eastern part of Java Island to the to Bali, crossing via ferry at the Bali Strait. So that should take me a few days, and it's part of a planned trip that I plan to host later on this summer. So currently, I'm transiting it at Incheon International Airport, Seoul, South Korea, and just want to show you this awesome sculpture garden. A brief segue before I talk about the trip. This art installation is really cool. I think the artist wanted us to think about different places that we've been and that had changed us. However, as I look at it, I saw reflections of passengers passing by, and I think the artist, also wanted us to think about the people that have had major or minor influences in our lives, which I thought was really cool. Okay, so back to the trip. Perhaps illustration better so my trip from Minnesota to Bali via South Korea. And once I landed in Bali, I will then fly to Surabaya and take a road trip to Batu along with train trip to Banyuwangi. Then I'll cross over to Bali via ferry. Okay, so after 6.5 hours flying from South Korea, I landed here in Bali. The international airport is in the background. I can smell the humidity. Weather is a little bit stormy due to a cyclone in Australia in the Indian Ocean, but it's not raining here, and I can also smell the fresh frangipani in the back. So let's move onward. I'm gonna fly to Surabaya, and then from there visit Malang, and then take the train from Surabaya to Banyuwangi, when then I will buy ferry ticket to go to Bali again, crossing the Bali Strait. Bali domestic airport is normally very busy, but it's still early in the morning, so you can see it's quiet and cool. Now I'm landing in Surabaya. The airport is near the sea. Surabaya is a port city, so you see a lot of fish ponds in general near the airport. The city itself is the second largest city in Indonesia, but it doesn't have as many skyscrapers. You can see a lot of houses, residentials, and businesses, and it's a really busy port city. So after this, I'm gonna go to Batu by road. Okay, so after reaching Surabaya, yesterday I left Surabaya with my friend, and we're here in Batu, which is near Malang, about 3 hours away on small roads south of Surabaya. Behind me is one of the mountains surrounding Batu. Batu is kind of known as a mountainous, cooler climb city for a lot of the residents of Surabaya to come and relax during the summer or just on weekends. So this area is also known for having two museums, and generally just a refreshing place to hide from the heat or to escape the heat. Here's a major thoroughfare in Batu and the mountains that surround this town. After this place, I'm gonna go back to Surabaya and then buy train ticket to go to Banyuwangi, which is at the easternmost end of Java Island. So, yep, here I am on the train. Back in Surabaya, outside is very hot and humid, but inside is nice, clean, and comfortable. So this train trip will be around 6 hours or so. That will bring me out into the Java's countryside, and hopefully I'll show a little bit of the countryside to you all with rice terraces and rice paddy. Java on a whole is the most populous island in Indonesia. So to be able to see greenery and it's also plant a lot of rice and provide rice to the whole country really. So you see a lot of cultivation here. So after reaching Banyuwangi, I'm gonna spend one night and then go to the port in order to buy ferry ticket. And here, after spending one night in Banyuwangi, here I am going to the port to buy ticket, and you see a lot of trucks waiting. Okay, so with ticket in hand, I'm ready to board the ferry right behind me there to Bali. The trip to the port to board is not easy, it's not hard, it's just really sweaty. A lot of cars along the way. I ride on a motorbike, but it was fun. It's not the easy travel of certain places where you're escorted, you're riding escalator, you do whatever. This is a lot of walking in the humidity and the heat of Java, Banyuwangi. But yep, we're gonna cross the Bali Strait and have fun. So this will mark my start to enter Bali. Yay! Besides the normal walking passengers, you also have a lot of cars and buses and trucks crossing. So that's why. And it's a narrow crossing. It's not that long. It should take us about 45 minutes or so. Okay, so I'm pretty fortunate and lucky that the crossing was uneventful because ferry crossing can be a little bit tricky sometimes with currents, strong currents, and a stormy sea. But luckily, it's not stormy and it's pretty calm. The water here has really strong current, so definitely do not swim in it because it's water between the Pacific and the Indian Ocean. Okay, so yesterday evening I managed to reach Bali, Kuta, Bali, exactly to be exact, and it was quite a trip. So the ferry crossing, it was slow and it took only an hour and a half. However, from the port to Kuta, I had to get on like a minivan, share with other people, and it took over 5.5 hours to go down south from the port up north of Bali. Overall, it was fun, and I'm gonna technically end my trip here for the video. And thank you for watching. Until next time.